Hi everyone, I'm Timothy Von Rieden, better known as Vonnart Online, and welcome to this weekly Wednesday live stream. I'm joined by my partner and fellow co-host, Josh, or Schwa.
Schwa. We'll go with Schwa.
Schwa.
Yes.
And on these weekly live streams, usually they're like follow-along live streams where we're doing something together or we're drawing something similar and then we're giving feedback at the end and a critique. But today's going to be a little different. We're going to be doing a how to color a pencil drawing tutorial. And it's more or less me having fun with Photoshop again because I was given another commission that I got to stop taking on commissions. But it was from my old boss, Wes at CG Cookie, and I love the company. I love him so much, so I cannot turn him down. And honestly, it was a lot of fun. I was working on Eat Sheep stuff. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to carry that excitement into this live stream, and I'm going to color one of my old drawings. So this is my little baby Ember hatchling, and I'm going to show you how to take a pencil drawing and add color in Photoshop. So before I like to get started in color, and I guess if you guys have any comments or questions during the stream, please ask and either put at Vonnart or at Schwa.
Yeah.
And we will do our best to answer them. And I mean, especially since I have a moderator here, we'll definitely be able to answer as many as we can. And it can be some stuff that's not related to what we're working on. It could be about life. It could be about the industry. It could be about marketing. It could be about being an artist. Whatever it is, and you can go ahead and ask it. Now, looking at my pencil drawing, I scan it with an Epson 10,000 scanner. So I would like really high quality scans. And it can go up to 10,000 DPI. I normally scan everything at a 600 DPI. And if I'm painting on it, or if I'm doing a demo like this where it's live and my processing power on my computer maybe can't handle 600 DPI, I already changed it to 300. So I'm currently working at a 300 DPI. It's still a rather large size, 19 by 12, but it's because I made room for what I'm about to talk about next, which is I always like to have references in more or less like a palette mood board. And that's so that I can pull colors from that inspiration rather than trying to just draw from them blind. I think it's much better to use these inspirations and these reference pictures as the source of your foundation for your color palette. So anyways, I chose mine before the stream started, and I'm going to make this smaller so you can see them. So here is what I chose. So when I'm looking for mood boards, actually speaking of Justin Gerard and Annie Stagg, I used a lot of Justin's dragon work because I honestly think he is the best dragon painter alive right now. And this is his here, and then same with this bad boy in the top right, and this crocodile. And like, look at those teeth. Ooh. Look at how they turn slightly brown, and it almost looks like it has some of the, what would that be called, plaque near the base of the tooth. He just does a really excellent job at understanding color and value and tone. And even like if I always go up to his booth and I'm always like talking at him how good I think he is with color, and I'll like point out in his pieces where I think he like did really excellent job. And I'm sure he's just like, Tim, I know, like I'm the one that painted it. I know why I did that. But even like this under the foot, how it has this more orangey cream color, and then it makes the toenail pop even further. And he carries that creamy orange throughout, but it's very subtle. And he does this on a lot of his work. And even on this like mole rat thing, see how the toe, same thing. It has that same gradient from dark to light. And then, I mean, he has a lot of good gradients here. And then in the face, you see how it's the brightest right in the center, and then it spills into like a pillow shading to a darker. Now, a lot of you probably don't know that I even know how to work with color, but I was a Photoshop teacher for about 6 years. So I actually do really like working in color. I just don't do it enough anymore. And here's another one of Justin's pieces where it's really smart use of lighting. He does a very bright glow behind the characters to make them pop. And obviously it gives a very tonal mood to the environment to have the sand or whatever they're standing on kind of reflect that bright sun back at the rocks, which makes the rocks just feel so warm and alive, and it gives a lot of character to this piece. Now, it doesn't even have to be a dragon necessarily. I look at reference images and sometimes I'll screenshot them, like this is Gaga up here, but I love the color palette that was created here. There's a mood. It's almost like a desert evening, and it just creates that mood to it. And here, this was from one of Aurora's new music videos. I just love the scene, and it definitely has like that dusty filter, but the colors from far away, it's might be kind of hard to see on the screen, but it has this glow to it that I really appreciate. And then same with Tonko House with Robert Kundo and Dice Tsunami. They do an excellent job with color, especially with bounce light and environmental lighting. And that's where all the pig and fox sketches are coming from. So I believe there's another one. I mean, these are Robert, and they worked on, or they worked at Pixar for a long time, and then created their own studio called Tonko House. I thought I had another picture of the pig. Hold on. I gotta grab one more picture.
Gotta show the pig picture.
This one, because this one's also a really excellent color study. Let's see, where are my layers? Oh boy. There we go. So this one, see how, see that there's such an excellent way of, it kind of has this overcast lighting, but you can tell the light source is coming from behind him, but it creates all these warm palettes within the shadow areas, and then the area where the light is touching is creating kind of this muted sky color, and it just creates such a good, I mean, I could go on about certain people and how they use color, but I think for this dragon specifically, I want to create that type of a mood. So I'm collecting images to create that mood. And then I think this one down here, I probably should know the painter, but I don't off the top of my head. But this color palette I really enjoy. I like this kind of soft mint against this light brown. So I might carry a lot of that into the dragon. I don't want it to be too harsh in the colors that I'm choosing. And if there's one thing I can say with color and how I work with color, it's I try not to have grass is green, sky is blue. It's kind of the joke that I have with my friend group about working with color, and then watching artists that are just starting to work with color or just being introduced to it. They always make it very like blatant flat colors, and there's not a lot of interesting technique used in their hues or in their saturations. And I hope that the way that I'm doing it today, I hope some of that will spill over into what I'm talking about having there be this mood. And a lot of that is a bounce lighting, the way you light it, and then the way that you're working with your colors. And also, actually, I should mention, I have a whole color tutorial on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's from the series I made about 5 years ago. I honestly think that's the most research I've ever done on a tutorial series. So if you want to watch that, you're more than welcome to. The whole thing will take it's like an hour-ish, and I try to cut it really quick, snip notes, so that I'm not like just ragging on like I normally do in these live streams about nothing. So you can go check that out. I'm gonna put this in my color palettes layer. I try to also have the colors on a separate layer themselves so that I'm not clogging up the layers on the right side. I try to stay somewhat organized, but that doesn't last very long.
I'm happy you grabbed that pig though.
Right, it's a good pig.
It's a good pig. Hayden says, has anyone mistaken Josh's username for shawarma? Making me hungry now, but
it's a shawarma.
Like, you know, like shawarma house. I think it's like it's Indian food usually. Let me see.
No.
Yeah, it's a dish in Middle Eastern cuisine consisting of meat cut into thin slices.
Oh,
like
never
one of
heard of
these.
that.
You ever had one of those?
Mm.
Oh, hungry now.
Okay, really quick. So the first thing I do is with the scan pencil drawing, and you kind of have to get a good scanner to do this. If you're working with a low quality scanner like the one I used to have 7 years ago, it's overexposed oftentimes, and it creates this really awkward looking drawing where it doesn't look like a pencil drawing anymore. It just looks like a really bad photo of a pencil drawing. I would recommend going to a school printer or maybe a library printer or if you cannot buy one or afford one, try to find where you can use one, because this kind of changed my whole life really, because all of a sudden all the prints we were making, all the books, any product that I was making was such a high quality scan that I was able to trust the quality, and it was no longer like me editing in Photoshop trying to make it look good again. It was just good from the start. So, thank you, not that ET, for subscribing.
Thank you so much.
I don't know where the bell is.
I have the bell right here.
Oh, that might just be like one.
All right, we'll do one little bell.
Let's see if you can do one. Hey!
Gotta be really gentle.
So on the pencil drawing layer, I'm just going to change it to a multiply. I like working on underneath of my pencil drawing, and multiply is a really easy way to make that happen. And if your pencil drawing, if the paper texture comes out as like a gray, I would just change your brightness. In here, I would just take it up. You can see how it really lightens the picture. So this is what my old scans used to look like.
Ooh.
Yeah, can you see the problem?
Ooh,
it looks awful. So before the stream started, I probably should have done this on the stream, but I changed the brightness up a little bit. See how you can see the paper fibers here? So if you don't want to see that, you can just change your brightness higher and it'll go away, but you have to be also careful because it affects the drawing too. I personally like some of the paper fibers to be seen, so I'm gonna leave it as is right there. Okay, and then from here, you make a new layer underneath of your drawing layer. I guess I can name these. I'm usually horrible at doing this part. Make a new layer. And now when we paint within it, as you can see.
Alexander Ederstraw, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, thank you. Very good, Schwa. You can see how now the colors are underneath of the drawing, and then you can work from here. Now, normally in my work, I don't like to work on a straight white background, so instead, I'm gonna grab one of the browns from this Renaissance painting. Ooh, that's way too dark. I'm gonna grab something like here, like a caramel. So I like working with a base background color. And then sometimes I might even create like a secondary palette on the side. I may or may not do that for this dragon, we'll see. Yeah, great. Actually, I don't mind it being a little darker.
Do you want some questions yet, or gonna get the start
almost.
Okay.
So then on the background layer, I like to work on a more neutral value because then you can work your lights and your shadows. But to have a really neutral base is a good place to start. At least for me, I prefer working this way. Some artists will say they prefer working light to dark or dark to light. I like to work in the middle and then work both ways. And the way that I'm going to start this off is I'm going to just grab some colors and kind of slop them on. I'm not going to worry too much about detail or how clean it is. Instead, I'm going to focus more on the mood that I'm evoking. And when I'm grabbing colors on the left, I'm literally just looking for a color that emits the mood I'm looking for. So like on the inside of the egg, I want to have this kind of glowing yellow, not super bright, but you know, a warm type of yellow glowing from inside of the egg. So when I go to pick my color, I see, okay, her dress has that kind of color palette I'm looking for. I might add it on the side here, and then I'll lay it on within the egg, or at least the parts that I want this kind of yellow glow to be. Oh, I can already tell I'm gonna have fun with this. I already like how the glow is like, looking. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be great. And I feel like this is very appropriate because Josh and I, he convinced me to start listening to The Hobbit on our road trip last weekend, and I feel like I'm definitely diving back into like the fantasy mindset and why I like it so much. I just feel like it brings so much magic to life, magic with a K, and I want to bring that back into my work. And I've never read, or actually I've never even seen the movies of the Hobbits. I've just seen glimpses, and I think the first one I saw.
Yeah, you don't need to see the movies. The book just has such more of like a I was reading something too. It's like Hobbit is apparently they call it hard or soft fantasy is the thing now.
What?
Yeah, there's a classification. Hard fantasy is like because there's hard sci-fi and soft sci-fi too. So like Ad Astra would be seen as soft sci-fi because it's not like over the top.
Okay.
Yeah, where like, you know, Star Trek and stuff like that would be seen more as like a hard sci-fi. So the same for fantasy, where Lord of the Rings definitely is more hard fantasy because it's like overarching world based. Everything is falling apart.
Yes.
Where Hobbit isn't as much worlds falling apart. So they're saying it's like a soft fantasy story told in a hard fantasy world in a way, which is kind of why I think Hobbit even has more of this like magical good feeling to it compared to reading Lord of the Rings, which is more
hard fantasy.
Yeah, things are going wrong.
That's interesting. Well, Wouldn't like Pan's Labyrinth be more soft fantasy?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or I'm trying to think of another one that we just watched.
Where like Legend would be hard fantasy.
Yes. Because that was kind of more of like an intense plot line. Yeah, because like Hobbit's more of this simple, like they just want to go get their gold. It's there's like some things that happen along the way, but it's not as
Interesting.
Yeah, there are more classifications for fantasy. Fem says just listen to the Hobbit soundtrack. Very true. The music's great.
Who was the composer for that?
For that one, I want to say, was it Howard? What's his name? Howard Shore. It might have been Howard Shore for Hobbit, because I know he did Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it was Howard Shore. Yeah, which I think you have a love-hate with Howard. I feel like he has like a very.
I don't know if I recognize him by name.
What are the other things he did? Because he did. Trying to think of something you might know. Let me pull it up. Not Howard Jones.
Well, you're doing that.
Howard Shore.
So I'm also going to start laying in some of the base colors for like the fingernails and stuff. I'm going to do a similar thing that Justin Gerard did because I think it is so smart, where you have the gradient from the tip of the nail to the base where it's a little darker at the base. I think it just gives more of a lifelike, lived-in type feeling. So I'm going to have it go from this more orangey to this more... Actually, I could probably get a darker color even.
He did Silence of the Lambs, the music for that.
See, I don't even remember the music in that movie.
He did he did Eclipse for Twilight, which is kind of when I thought the music went bad for Twilight. Because I liked when was it Steve Jablonsky who did the first Twilight?
Oh, Carter Burwell.
Yeah, that was so good. The music in that one.
I know that because he did Where the Wild Things Are then next.
Yes. There were a couple questions a little back.
Oh yes, please ask away.
Okay, cool. We have hello.
Hello.
Any tips or resources in how to master values?
How to master values. I think a lot of it is, especially if you're working, okay, this is a loaded question because I feel like I could go a few different ways. First, I would definitely start with, when you're doing your thumbnails, try to work in a composition where you have light, dark, and midtones. And I believe in having midtones be primarily the largest percentage in the piece, and having highlights in the darkest darks be more of the minimal. So when you're doing your compositions, I would just focus on that. Focus on where your darks are, focus on where your lights are. And you usually want the highest contrast of lights and dark where you want your point of interest. So let me look at this scene. Oop. There we go. Actually, perfect example. Look at, in the classical painting, her hair is the darkest thing in the scene, and it's against this white waterfall in the background. So your eye immediately gets pulled down here, and then it's just like a circle, like you're looking around the scene, but everything's pointing back in a triangular shape back to her head. And even with this dragon, the tip of the wings here are the strongest contrast, so that's where our eyes get drawn to the most. And that's for everything, even this, like, I don't know what this piece is supposed to be, but the lightest part of this drawing is right here near his face, and that's where he wants you to look. So you can actually do it where the lightest part is where the point of interest is, or the darkest point is where the point of interest is. It all depends on how you work it. And you know what? While I'm over here, I'm going to use this rock that the pig is standing on as my foundation for this egg. I really like the mood it's giving me. It's giving me a good vibe. Kind of matches with the colors that we're already throwing in. You know what? Sometimes I'll just do this color picking. And I like how the little parts that are scraped off on the rock have this like almost orangey glow to it, even though it's actually more pink. So let me go ahead and kind of recreate that here. Okay, ready for another question.
I don't know. Hayden says, what are some fantasy characters or creatures you wish you could take credit for drawing? Or creating, sorry. You could take credit for creating.
I mean, mermaids, obviously. Like ones that really speak to me.
That you could take credit for creating though? Like, is there a creature that you feel is like your own?
I mean, I feel dumb saying like witches or vampires, but a lot of the Halloween creatures and monsters I really like. Honestly, probably it would still be a mermaid though. I have a real love for them.
But I feel like they're asking, what are some fantasy characters or creatures you wish you could take credit for creating?
Yeah, mermaids.
You created mermaids?
I wish I could take credits for being like the first person to create a mermaid.
You wish you could. Oh, I get the question now.
What did you think it meant?
Well, like Dirt Kids, you could take credit for creating those. Like actually take credit.
I mean, yeah, technically.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that I create nowadays is like heavily influenced from the world around me. So like even looking at my Dirt Kids, to me, it's like obviously those are Pikmin inspired.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe some people don't see it that way, but I think whenever you look at your own art, you can kind of pick apart where you got inspired from. But the one thing that I think whoever was the first person to create mermaids, I give them a lot of credit. And I'm sure that was like a lot of like passing down of folklore and stories from the sea. I doubt it was like one person that invented mermaids.
That's well, even dragons and stuff too. That's all stuff that's been like part of folklore for a long time too.
I wonder who was the first person to create dragon, or like the idea. You know what? I bet it's Eastern culture if I had to guess.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know like the full, honestly, how they became part of like stories, but
right.
Yeah, where was the initial thought that they existed?
Well, I mean, I'm sure. I mean, you look at some of the like Komodo dragons or the real life reptiles that are really large. You just throw wings on it, bam.
I feel like a lot of creatures probably were kind of based off another creature in a way, just kind of building on it, which is kind of cool.
You know what? I don't know if I'm crazy about the blue egg.
Sean, hello both of you. Excited to see you tackle some color on some pencils.
Oh, well, thank you, Sean.
Love you, Sean. Eunuch says, I love the way you say dragon. Wait, say dragon.
Do I say it wrong?
Say it.
Dragon?
No.
Oh, you know what? It's because I can't say bag.
Oh, this is a Wisconsin thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Wisconsin. I can. Sometimes is this a Tim accent thing or a Wisconsin accent thing, and I don't always know.
I think this is a Wisconsin accent thing, unfortunately.
Wait, you say bag, right?
You say
big.
If I think about it, I'll say bag.
Okay.
But if it just came out of my mouth naturally, it'd be bag.
Your cousin Jake says bagels too. It's not bagels, it's bagels.
Wait, no, that's how you do say it.
Bagel?
Yeah. You don't say bagel. We say it wrong.
Oh, so it's supposed to be bagel.
It's supposed to be bagel.
If people say bagel.
No. Bagel. No, I can't even say it anymore. Thinking about it too much. It's not bag-ol.
Right. It's
bag-ol. I can't even believe we're having this discussion.
I feel like that's still the Wisconsin accent thing, though. Because technically people do say bagel. Most people say bagel.
Well, maybe in Wisconsin they do.
I don't know. Barbara, enjoy your lunch. There we go. Jim, there we go. Jim says, y'all haven't had shawarma till you've had vegetarian shawarma at Norma's in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Ooh. Totally down for fun vegetarian restaurants.
Oh, well, absolutely.
Right? So good. Eunuch, the Hobbit movies are such a tragedy. Yeah, they were a little... I think because... what's his name? The director?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson, yeah. I think he got kind of used to making that style of movie that... Actually, Tim made a good point. I think if Jim Henson did the Hobbit movies, or movie, I think it would have been really good.
Oh, yeah, because when we were listening to the book, or the audio book, in my mind, I saw something similar to Dark Crystal, which I'm sure that's not how he imagined it, maybe when he wrote it, but in my mind, that's how I saw it. And I was like, I think this would look really cool, especially the way that they did the Dark Crystal series on Netflix. I think they could do a killer job.
Oh, with The Hobbit, yeah. Well, because even the colors, I think the description of colors in The Hobbit was so much different than some of the colors used in the movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, really quick. So I'm adding in a lot of saturated colors here, so I gotta be a little careful because I don't want this just to read as saturation everywhere. The reason I like classical painters or even Justin Gerard in a lot of ways is because they use their saturation sparingly and intentionally. So I'm gonna go through with kind of this more dulled down color and kind of soften some of these harsher saturations.
Anra says, Howard Shore, yes, Over the Mountains of Moria. I think it's called favorite Hobbit song. Yes. The Lord of the Rings soundtracks are my favorite. I'll sometimes play those if I'm reading or something. There we go, Hayden. I'm getting your guys' names down. Hayden says Howard Jones was the singer of Kill Switch Engage. Just a little tidbit. Oh, thank you. That's what a missearch gives me new little facts. Do you ever listen to Kill Switch Engage or no? No?
I don't even know them.
Actually, Snagglefo says, I went and saw Kill Switch when he was sick, and they had someone filling in named Phil, and he said that he made the group Phil Switch Engage. Oh, that's awesome. Enra says, are you pasting your references on your canvas?
Yes. So they're technically on a different layer. I don't know why I'm doing the highlights right now. I always have to like pull myself. If I get too zoomed in, I'll start working on things I shouldn't be working on.
I mean, you have a lot of fun with color.
I do. Well, and, like the colors that I'm laying down right here, this could all change dramatically. And you know what? I'll do a demonstration of that really quick. But yes, the colors are in its own layer on the canvas itself. I don't like working on two separate canvases. I mean, sometimes I do, but I think just for the computer processing power when I stream, I try to minimize things as much as possible. So I'm going to show you guys a quick little thing that I do when working with color. I'm not one of those that separate things by layers, or I treat it like a painting and I try to go about it like I'm painting traditionally. Partially because I think if I do it the way where you set up like layers in the way that I was taught, things become very unorganic to me. I feel very much like a machine, and I hate that feeling when working with color. To me, color is supposed to be chaotic and sporadic and random, and I think it's beautiful when you create a color palette that maybe you weren't initially expecting and it works better than your initial idea. But if you're restricting yourself, then that's where, unfortunately, I think your colors can look a little drab, or a little grass is green, blue is the sky. So I mean, this part's kind of fun for me too. Oh wait, I didn't even show you guys how to do this. I'm sorry. I'm talking over what I'm doing just in autopilot. So I'm gonna do what's called a color adjustment layer, and this is like a fun way to see your colors in a different way and maybe create a different mood and feeling altogether. So the way to do it is on the bottom of your layers menu. Oops. Or no, that was all right. You pull down, you click on the half circle where it's half dark, half light. You do gradients, map, and then you click, the property should come up. If it doesn't, just double click it, and then you click in the gradient. You're going to change it to noise. Ooh. Choose OK. And now usually this is very intense, so change the opacity down to like 20%, 25. Or, I mean, usually I do like soft edits, like I'll do like a 10%, but I guess just for demo purposes, we'll do it like this. This is very much like a pastel. This is a dragon you get on Easter morning. So I just change it to randomize. And then eventually something will come up where you're like, that's the palette I want to continue with. And then that's what I do. I don't look back. I don't try to restrict myself on colors. I'm too saturated. And sometimes you can get stuck in this loop. Actually, I'm going to continue with this. No. Sometimes you can get stuck in a loop where you're just randomizing forever. If you get stuck in that loop, I would honestly pull back because clearly you might not be ahead enough to make these kind of color changes. So you can see before and after. So I'm kind of toning down the saturation, and a lot of what this does is it unifies the whole drawing, because sometimes our colors can get like too much cool and too much warm and there's a lot of contrast. Sometimes that can be good. A lot of the times it's just more clashing and it doesn't work harmoniously. So I'm going to go on this layer. I'm going to make a new layer above it, and I'm going to continue painting. And honestly, a lot of my color process is just doing that. It's just a lot of looking at what I have, trying something new, and then running with it. But since this is a stream, I gotta kind of fast play a lot of how I normally do things. So I'm gonna start rendering some of the key points. I'm definitely gonna start doing the nails on our little dragon bud here. And then now I can answer some questions.
All right. Felix, that's the thing. Dragons have been a thing in almost all cultures around the world, probably because they're real. You know, there's a part of me that's like dragons. I mean, they're probably based off dinosaurs a little bit. Who knows?
Oh, actually, probably, yeah.
I mean, there could have been things that look like dragons.
I mean, if anyone saw like the fossils or like dug up a giant fossil of it, I think, yeah, that would look like a dragon. And back in like 100 BC, I mean, people don't know if magic's real or not, or if witches exist, or if dragons are real. So I could see being like, oh my god, look at these bones. This was a dragon.
Do you think they breathed fire, though? Because that'd be pretty cool.
Do I think dragons breathe fire? Yes. I like to think in my mind, the dragons that I like to make believe do breathe fire.
Do you think some of them breathe water?
I don't see why not. I mean, I don't know. I don't think
it's
we
like getting hit with
ourselves.
a fire hydrant. Just like...
Oh, I'm sure it would hurt like hell. Really quick. So what I'm doing is I did a kind of an undercoat on the nail, and then I do you know what? I might make a highlight layer separate, just so you can see the before and after, because highlights can really bring a sense of form and shape, and a lot of it is texture and material, based on where you place the highlight, how much highlight, if it's isolated or if it's kind of diffused. So in this case, I'm gonna make the highlights pretty strong and kind of show that these nails have more of a reflective property to them.
Peasy Cherokee says he also says Komodo funny.
I do?
Yeah, I think you do. Say it.
Komodo? How did I say? I don't even remember.
Maybe I'm saying it wrong too. I mean, this could be another Wisconsin accent thing. Sean
Most
says it's
likely.
Sean says it's definitely bagel. Take it from me. I'm from New Jersey.
Our resident bagel aficionado. Oh, you know what? I usually do have my color picker up too. I don't know why that wasn't up. Sometimes I want something just a little more saturated or a little more in a different color direction. So like near where the flames are coming up, I want it a little more saturated. Actually, even a little lighter, honestly.
I'm liking that purple kind of along the edge of the bottom part of the shell there.
Yeah, I'll probably play with a few different color combinations here.
Unix says, do you just go by feeling when choosing the colors? I always feel like my colors just aren't harmonizing together. Is that also a practice thing, or are there rules of thumb or something?
Oh, for sure, practice. I think color is the most learn by practice thing to learn. I mean, I guess values and contrast are big too, but color I feel like is just a beast. And it is one of those things where I have learned the more that I just trust my gut, the better the end result looks. And that's why I hate having, even back when I worked at CG Cookie, I kind of hated making color tutorials in a way, because I work very sporadically when I work with color. And I don't think there's one all do all way of working with color. And I think the artists that really trust their gut when it comes to colors are the ones that you see making very bold decisions, and those bold decisions usually carry over into amazing results. So color is one of those where even though I'm showing how I'm coloring this, a lot of this is just me intuitively placing color where I think it would look cool. And I can make big decisions, like if we want to make him red, I would do like a soft buildup of red. I wouldn't just grab, actually I'm gonna lay this color first. I wouldn't just grab red and like go for it, because this to me is like sky is blue, grass is green. Instead, I'm gonna choose, was this the color I was working with? See how this is more like an orange, but I can give the impression that the dragon is red just by pushing certain areas of the face. This would be considered the local color. So if I wanted the local color of the dragon to be red, I still am going to play with a lot of bounce lighting and the environmental lighting. He could end up looking purple because he might be in like a purple moonlit room, but you have to still give enough context clues to show that he is technically red when he's in normal white light. But I don't want to get too colorful with the body of the dragon.
And Hayden says, Killswitch and Gage are metal bands. I wouldn't expect you to listen to them.
Oh, God, no.
But Howard Jones is more of a melodic singer due to being a trained opera singer. You like opera, though.
I mean,
some opera stuff.
I definitely am not
metal.
into metal.
I mean, I listened to Bring Me the Horizon, like, their early stuff, so I think I was
Were you a metal
pretty
kid?
Metal. I listened to them, and In This Moment, I think, was her name. I don't know, there's some good... I listen to some metal. Not anymore, I don't really listen to metal that much, but I have an appreciation for it.
Cute.
Cute.
I have an appreciation for
When you
metal.
think of metal, you think of cute.
I just, I really like the death metal.
I'm really just into death metal and kitties. But
I really like Ice Cream and ICP. That's
actually,
no,
a lot of metal people I've met, though, too, tend to be very, like, soft and, like, really nice.
Actually, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends in high school even were, like, the Juggalos and the heavy metal, and then I was, like, this hippie child. So we'd always sit in the art room and just kind of knock on each other's taste. So I actually do agree. I think I've met a lot of really fun people that enjoy just screamo, emo, in-your-face heavy metal. I personally don't understand it, but I can respect it.
I can respect it.
I can respect it.
See, that's cute.
I can respect it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be like, oh, your music taste sucks. It's like, no, if it makes them happy, who am I to say that their music taste is bad? I mean, I always joke that I have bad music taste, and that's because I can bop to a pop song, but I can also bop to Motown,
Even the new Taylor Swift album.
I really enjoy the new Taylor.
Yeah.
Well, I really like 7. That's my favorite song off the new album so far.
I have that melody stuck in my head all the time. Yeah.
We were still anyways.
Ooh,
okay. Actually, really quick.
Yes.
So I just grabbed this kind of minty color. No, I didn't do it yet.
Oh. No, I mean, this part. I like the part around the...
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the minty color from over here. But watch it as I add it on. See how it adds that cool gradient? Like this undertone of like green to a lot of it.
Ooh.
It's very soft.
Kind of adds like... Yeah, more depth to it.
Right? So this is where color can be transformative, because all of a sudden this green, this very minty green, brings a different mood and like an attitude to the piece in a whole. So you know what? I might even add it to some of the wings. Maybe this is like a green dragon. Or mint. See how adding it to the wings, all of a sudden it's very soft, but then it gives the impression that the dragon is green without it being like, cover the whole thing green. Actually, I'm totally going with the mint flavor here.
Darav says, do you like to listen to music while you draw in your free time?
Oh, 100%. I feel like I'm usually caught in between watching movies or TV shows or just listening to music when I draw. Do I like this as green? I think I do. I think I like it a lot.
But like you tend to listen to music more when you're doing like your Big Mermaid drawing or something that's like
if I need to get into a mood.
When you're doing commissions, I feel like you tend to watch stuff more often.
When I'm doing commissions, I literally just put The Office on. I want to be like brain numb because I've had really bad experience this year with commissions. I don't even know if I should be saying this live, but Josh has heard me talk about this so often. I am not built for doing commissions back to back to back to back. And I'm learning that this year was a huge learning lesson for me. But normally when I draw or I paint, I love getting a playlist that kind of fits the mood I'm trying to create. So like if I wasn't streaming right now, I would probably have some kind of like fantasy nonsense being played in the background or something from David Arkenstone.
Oh my gosh.
Just kind of give that mood and that feeling, because that, to me, that translates into my work then, because the more that I'm engaging with the drawing, the more that I'm present with it. I know it sounds silly, but it really is true for me. I feel like I do a better job because my emotions, my passion for the drawing just becomes amplified. Okay, I'm going to grab this kind of lighter color and I'm going to go down the neck and create some of those scales or that kind of texture-y area down. Oh, this is looking, this is looking like slightly phallic. I have to be a little careful. Don't worry, I know how to fix that.
Oh.
I just have to make sure I carry a lot of the highlights around here too. Oh, I should have done this on the highlight layer.
See, sometimes if you don't say it, I wouldn't have seen it. But now that you said it, I'm like, oh. No, it's fine. It really doesn't. Honestly,
if Geiger can hide a bunch of phallic things in his work, I'm sure I can too. If Alien basically is the most phallic villain in movie history, I'm sure I can add a few in this little dragon.
The entire dragon.
No. Oh, I also should say though, I gotta be careful with adding too many colors because then it could just look like rainbow throw up. And this is also a problem with digital painting, I think, compared to traditional painting, because I don't see this happen as much with traditional painters. But with digital, sometimes we get so color happy that we're adding everything, and then eventually you start to lose the oh my gosh, what local color, and everything just becomes kind of like this rainbow mess. Sometimes it works really well. I've seen a lot of artists, even like my old roommate Key, or I guess Justin Gerard, he has a plethora of colors in his work, but he makes it harmonize. And that's the real lesson to learn with color, is learning how to harmonize.
Let me catch up on some stuff here. Corey says, hello, Corey. I miss you. Corey says, this stream is very opportune as I just started experimenting with a digital color process on drawings.
Hey, well, that's
nice.
perfect.
Good timing. Hopefully there are some good tips here.
Well, there's definitely a... No, I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it.
Don't. Anra says, do you have a favorite artists in terms of color palette choices?
When I went to college, actually, we were just talking about this last night. Feverworm was my favorite. Back then, I knew her as Chaotic Muffin. Oh, it's my favorite person who worked with color. Now that I'm older, it's been a lot of different artists. I can't even say there's just one. I do really like the way that Justin Gerard colors and paints, because it all has like this texture and this vibrancy to it without it being a rainbow throw up. So I really like his, a lot of what Annie Stegg does. A lot of the Riot artists, honestly, all of the Riot Splash artists, I think work with color, especially the last 3 years, so excellent. If you could pull up the Heimerdinger candy, the sugar skin,
yeah,
I think what a great example of using the elements and giving things texture.
I don't have your computer though to bring it up on, but
could you just share the link on or not Heimerdinger?
It was
who's the one with the clock? No.
Zillion.
Oh my gosh, am I already forgetting the league names?
I was gonna say Beatrice too. Beatrice Blue, you like a lot.
Beatrice is interesting for me because she does a lot of almost flat colors, but her colors just create such a fantasy to me. It is just so warm and inviting.
I don't know if it was it Celia. This one?
Yes, I want the full one though. Like this to me is there's a lot going on, but there if you look at individual areas, they're just so excellently rendered. And I don't even know how to give praise enough to those that are working at League doing these splash, but I really do think they're setting the bar for other artists to follow. Could be biased because I actually like League of Legends, but
Barbara, hello, welcome back. Hope your lunch is delicious. Sarah Barra, hello. Hello, I just came to say hi. I didn't go back to work. I hope you're having a great day. Glad to see you back, Shua. Thank you so much, Sarah. Good to see you again. I hope you've been doing well. Best of luck at work.
Not digging my horns though yet. Something else I try to do is, since the light source is emitting from the egg, I try to have that then represented everywhere. So I might do a little quick up showing. It's like on the bottom of his palm, I'll create depth and form by showing that the light would be hitting the bottom of the palm. And then maybe some of here. I might have to start drawing on top of my line art. And then going up the body, I'll try to like skim the underside of the scales to just create that form of depth. So put some of the wings here. A little bit on the nails. So I try to work a lot with bounce light and the lighting present in the scene. And I try to have that kind of dictate where I place a lot of my color. So even though I'll get into fantastical choices in just a second or a little later on the stream, but I try to have at least the base kind of read as real or as, I don't know, somewhat based in reality, and then I like to get fantastical with it. I might give some of the egg a little more green tone.
Actually, looking at the color on the screen versus the Cintiq, I can see the colors a lot better too.
Oh yeah, they're definitely way more bold on that screen. Yeah, in my Cintiq, it always makes things look a little more desaturated, which sometimes it looks good while I'm painting, but then I'll look at it on the actual monitor, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh yeah, it is really saturated.
There's a huge difference, yeah. Because this almost gives this like a grayish green almost on this screen, and then over here you can definitely see the green more.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna have a little fun with it because, like I said, I treat color like I treat intuition, and I'm gonna add some overlay to some of this orange.
Nick says, do you also work with slowly building the colors when you're painting digitally without a pencil drawing a color in?
Say that again.
Do you also work with slowly building the colors when you are painting digitally without a pencil drawing the color in?
Do I slowly build?
Do you build the colors slowly up the same way, like if you're just doing a completely digital painting? Like if you're not painting over pencil?
Oh,
do
yeah.
Build up still?
Yeah, I would say yes. I would say before, when I first started doing color, it was very slow. It was very meticulous. And I think that's where I struggled with color a lot, because I thought I had to follow like a path or a way of doing things. And the more that I've kind of branched away from that, the better my color work has become. Oh, yeah, I hate how green it is on that monitor. Not a fan, not a fan.
Oh, really? I think it's cute.
I might make the horns a bit darker, too.
Yeah, it's weird that it does that. Is there a setting on the Cintiq that you can, like the saturation down on it?
No,
and just the screen itself?
The Cintiq's older, so it doesn't have quite the vibrancy as the new Mac.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, and gradients will be your best friend with colors, by the way. If there's ever an opportunity to add a gradient, go ahead and add it.
Unique says, how do you simultaneously watch something while drawing? I just can't concentrate on a show or movie when drawing because I just have to actively watch everything.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes you do get sort of sucked into what you're watching occasionally.
Sometimes,
but
yeah. If I'm really enjoying it.
If you're doing commission, you tend to like sometimes watch the screen for a second.
Oh, absolutely. I would say usually I try to put on something that is like just dumb. Like I used to watch 30 Rock a lot while I drew. I guess now I'm watching a lot of Office because I've never seen it before. And it's like a show that you don't have to like actively participate in watching. Oh, I kind of like how that one looks. Actually, I might just keep this. But if it's something that I can tell I'm going to really like, I have to put it on the back burner because there's no way I can do both at once.
Oh, it's so weird how on this screen that background even looks different than on the...
Right?
Yeah.
That's why it's a little weird. Like I'm almost having to look at both screens just so I can see like what it actually looks like versus what I'm seeing. Add a little crack in the egg.
Honey says, I make rainbow throw up a lot. I mean, rainbow throw ups are pretty good though sometimes too.
Not my favorites.
Not Tim's favorite.
I think though you can easily turn rainbow throw up into something that's cohesive. I think doing this color, the gradient map, could help you if you feel like your colors aren't cohesive or balancing well. I know that helped me a lot when I was really learning color because I was so focused on doing like red and then doing a bloom of like lighter red and darker red, and that would be the way I would transition colors. But over time, you kind of realize it lacks a lot of fun. It lacks a lot of the intuitive process that colors can definitely bring to the table, and you don't want to limit yourself if you can.
I think that's Beatrice blue stuff's really cool because I think they use definitely a lot more bolder colors, and a lot of them sometimes, but it's like they're works. Cohesive. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I always try to explain to people that using bolder colors doesn't have to be a bad thing. Because I think too often, especially if I talk about color, I make it sound bad. But like what you said, if you know how to use the bold colors, you can still make it look awesome. But I think it's very difficult to do. Like this pig is technically very bold colors, but it's very strong, you know.
And he says, I love league art, so you play.
Actually, I'm going to do something bold. So this is something that no one would ever recommend doing. You can see what it looks like without the sketch.
Interesting.
So I'm going to merge it all down, which I know a lot of you are probably like cringing right now.
What does that mean?
So I'm making it all in one layer. Select all, copy, undo, undo. Then I paste it. So now this is all on its own layer.
Okay.
But this makes people really uncomfortable because then your pencil lines are no longer separate from your color. So I'm at that point where I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it.
What's the point of doing that?
So if I wanted to edit everything all at once, including the lines, I can do it.
Oh.
Like I said though, I have a very
That has such a glow to it.
See what I mean? Color, and like originally, I was gonna definitely make this a red dragon. Ooh. It's very dark.
It's like a cave dragon, yeah.
I mean, we could go with this direction. That's why I love working in color, but I also try to limit myself as little as possible. Actually, I kind of like that.
We can just do this for like an hour. This is satisfying.
Isn't it?
All the different, yeah.
My favorite thing to do... Oh yeah, I like that a lot. My favorite thing to do working with color is just shifting and playing with color.
That there makes that The
fire
inner
look
shell,
like
yeah, it just glows.
right.
Yeah.
It's funny that I have to look at this monitor than the actual Cintiq to see the real colors of everything. All right, do you want to see before and after? Before, after. But I'm also getting to that range where I don't like, where it's like saturation. So
Was
I'll
that
do
your
another.
throw-up sound?
Yeah. Blah, blah.
Ooh.
Inverse dragon.
Wow.
Ooh. So I'll do it again.
Give up on all the color and just do inverse.
I could not even imagine trying to paint inversely. That'd be so difficult.
Challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Yes.
So you see how this kind of mutes it a bit, but actually I hate the green though. We're gonna change that. So look at it before and after. So see how like, well, actually, I don't hate before, but it's too bold for me. I think I gotta get away from green.
It's not like, yeah, the before is not bad. I think you just don't like that, it being bolder like that.
A lot of people on the stream are probably like, why are we just watching this person randomize color selections? Digital painting, everyone. This is it.
I like that. It's hard because I've liked all these so far, so I don't know how you like decide on one. Just like 50 different dragons.
What I might do is I might actually desaturate the original. Yeah, it is so weird seeing what it looks like on the screen over there compared to over here. Like they're two different things.
Benny's. Hanny says, I love League Art, so you play.
I do.
You do play.
Josh is not as big of a fan anymore.
Yeah, I've been playing Dead by Daylight.
Which actually, you've been pretty
There's
good
a lot of
at.
people I know that actually played. I think Candor the other day even was like, oh, I play too.
What?
Right, I'm like, all these people, I had no idea played Dead by Daylight.
That's crazy.
It's a good game.
I never even really heard of the game until you started playing it.
Yeah, I played it like 4 years ago when it first came out, and then kind of just moved on. Because it was definitely rough when it first came out, but they're improving it slowly. There's some issues, but can't have it be perfect, I guess. Sign? I want to say this is French. S-I-G-N-E. I'm hoping.
Where are you looking? I'm not even seeing.
Oh, right there. Sign.
Oh, Signe? Signe?
Signé?
Hi.
If I mispronounce, please let me know. I love this stream. It's so cozy. And do you have any tips on improving anatomy for fantasy creatures?
Oh, definitely study real animals. If you want to get better at drawing dragons, study lizards. If you want to get better at drawing centaurs, study horses. You know, like pull from the real life references that the mythical creature is pulling from, and I guarantee when you do your mythical reinterpretation, it'll be so much better.
Snagglefo says, I put on movie shows that I'm very familiar with, that I've seen many times. I don't need to watch it to know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't watch something new or something I'm interested in seeing.
Yeah, if I can tell that I'm interested in it, I have to stop it. Like, what did we try watching? Oh, Neverending Story.
Which we do need to watch still.
We do need to watch still.
Yeah.
But as soon as we put it on, I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to enjoy this. I got to stop the movie because I needed to finish that drawing that night. I was like, there's no way I can do both. So I feel like I always have a lot of movies that I just have saved, especially if they're foreign. There's no way I'm going to try to watch a foreign subtitled film and draw. That's not happening.
There's a bunch of YouTubers I like, not that I'm drawing, but just background noise, that I like. Defunctland. They go through, like, he just talks about weird theme parks that closed and stuff. So it's kind of just nice to have in the background. And then there's the one, her name is Ask a Mortician. That's super interesting.
Oh, yeah.
She runs a funeral home, and she kind of just talks about what it's like.
So really quick, I'm doing something that's kind of considered a big no-no. I'm like drawing over the line art. But the trick is to try not to lose the quality that you had in the original sketch and drawing.
Why is that seen as a no-no? Is it just...
So usually when people paint over like a scanned pencil drawing, they want it still to read as pencil drawing. Where I'm kind of okay with letting that line blur a little bit. But some artists do not like that. I don't mind. Oh, actually, okay, so when I get into the detailing phase, which is kind of where I'm at right now, so see this mint color? If I really want to pronounce some of the spikiness going down the neck, I'll make this color a little brighter, and I'll push it right up against the edge of that darker color. Actually, this is a new layer. I'm gonna make a new layer before I do this, just so you guys can see the before and after. And it's little tricks like this that can make something pop out so simply. You don't have to do it even that harsh. I think even like a little bit can go a long way. So let me show you. Do a few areas here. A little highlight down this triangle weird part. I don't even know what that is. Same with this. Don't know what that is. I don't really know dragon anatomy because I don't know lizard anatomy. Okay, so we can see before and after. If you look at it from far away, see how it makes it start to pop more? So a lot of digital painting for me is making things pop. So like on the bottom of the neck, I really want to make this center line pop. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to choose a little lighter. I try to avoid using pure white ever, so I'm not going to use pure white. I kind of like the scratchiness of some of this though. It kind of reads as like scales that are overlapping. So I'm going to keep a lot of that texture that I went with my pencil. I'm just going to try to enhance it with this lighter color. And that's where I think the trick to bringing a pencil drawing to digital is to not cover your pencils completely, but to enhance it with what's already given. All right, sorry, I've been jammering. Any comments or questions?
Oh yeah, we can keep going. There are questions.
So I'll let you go for a little bit then.
Through. Oh, Barbara, I love how this cute little baby dragon is trying to learn how to fire his fire. He's doing his best.
I'd say he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
This is like, man, he's just sneezing.
Oops. Enix says, how do you gradient map without Photoshop?
Oh, good question. I don't know. Let me think.
What are the free?
I don't know if Procreate has it built in yet. It might. I know they did a big update recently.
What are things like GIMP and stuff like that, the free ones? Do they have those kind of features or probably not?
They might. I mean, I haven't used GIMP in like 10 years almost. Honestly, I don't know. I really do think Photoshop is kind of the standard for working if you're gonna like do a lot of this like weird color shifting and nonsense. But that's not to say like Procreate does have a lot of features, and I love Procreate, but I use it more for sketching. I'm not quite sold on the way it works with colors yet. That's just me though. I've talked to a lot of artists that love working with Procreate with their color stage, but I personally would rather work in Photoshop. Oh, something else really quick. Okay, so I really like this tooth because it kind of gives the gritty smile. So I'm gonna add this like pink color around it because everything else is so dark that, watch, when I zoom away, see how you can see how the smile is really, wait, look at the screen.
Oh yeah.
See how the smile kind of accentuates because of that pink around this tooth? See, now it looks like he's smiling more.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, I need to work in color more.
Yeah, this is so fun.
Oh, I almost swore. I effing love working with color.
Well, I don't want to say you're... Oh, sorry.
Or you go.
I don't want to say like you're cruising through it, but I feel like you're just really comfortable doing this though too.
I have found this weird confidence that I haven't had with color in a long time. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it's because I'm so frustrated with commissions. But I'm like, just go. And I think I just trust myself now, which is kind of weird even saying out loud, because I think a lot of with art, I'm so much like overthinking things, and the more that I just let my intuition take over, the things like this then happen where I feel like I'm in the zone, I feel it, I can move faster, and I'm actually enjoying what I'm working on. And I can't say that all the time when I'm working with pencil.
I think this is fun for you too because you like doing pencil, so you get to still do that part of it, and then you like doing the color, so it's like just moving it into here and then doing it. So it's kind of a fun mix of two things you really like doing a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you should do this more often.
You know what? I should. I think next week, oh no, next week we won't have a stream. When I come back, we'll do another color one. Maybe I'll do like an even simpler subject matter so that I can really break down like why I'm choosing the colors I am. And actually, I could do my little radish spirit sprite thing. So that'd be pretty easy.
I mean, this would be really satisfying to do. You know those coloring book apps.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be as like detailed, but yeah, this is just satisfying to watch even too.
Well, I almost could give the Photoshop file of the drawing, like the scan drawing, and then if people want to color alongside me, they can.
Oh, that'd be
right.
Wait, that'd be a fun stream to do.
Let's
and then
do
everyone
that.
puts them on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys all think about that?
Yeah.
Everyone think about that. That'd be super fun. All right, let me catch up on some questions.
Catch up on the questions.
Oh, Snagglefo says, I've seen Lord of the Rings about 200 to 250 times. Oh my gosh. Not exaggerating. So I don't need to watch it to know what's happening. I can draw to Lord of the Rings any old day. Those are good movies to just have in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eve says, 2 questions. How long did it take you to become comfortable with using colors? I'm just getting into digital painting. What are the transferable skills in your opinion?
I think one of the transferables are working with value. I think if you work traditionally, especially with graphite or charcoal or a medium that's solely based on contrast and value, I think that definitely carries over. Getting comfortable with color, though, I would honestly say it takes a few years. I don't even want to like try to sugarcoat it. I think color is the hardest thing to learn when transitioning, and just even being an artist in general. I think color is something that you're always improving on, and you're always learning a new technique or a way to shade that you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I know this before? And then you apply it to all your future pieces, and that's constantly happening. But if it makes you feel better, I feel like every piece that I've really explored color on, I've gotten better. So I think if you make it your focus, it really does become easier to make that transition move faster.
Probably teaching it, that probably helped you a lot too.
Oh, for sure.
Jumpstarted you to really.
Like, I'm so thankful for CG Cookie because they would have me do tutorials on things I did not feel comfortable teaching, and because of that, I like try to teach myself as best I could so that I felt comfortable teaching others. So honestly, try teaching yourself, and I feel like you will surprise yourself.
Not that ET says I sculpt to Lord of the Rings all the time. Yuki says merging all the layers is so scary.
See, it is until you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. Like, let's just do it. Why not?
Sean's saying blue and orange, blue and orange, blue and orange.
Blue and orange? Girl, this is mint and orange cream.
Mint and orange cream. It's like a dreamsicle.
Something, though, I am starting to do is the light that's coming from behind him, I can start pulling into the actual form of the dragon. As if it's like bouncing off the eggshell and then back on the wing.
Oh.
Right? Well, this is where it can get really muddy, so I gotta make sure I'm doing this right. Stay zoomed out if you can.
Says, I just looked away for a second and now we have some cool colors going on. What is this magic?
Right? Actually, you know what? I guess let's do another color change.
Do you do this often where you'll like kind of play with it as you go?
All the time.
Check in?
Literally, this is me coloring the whole time. It's just, I'll do 10 minutes of work and then back to adjustments. And this time, I'll just go to color balance and see what this does. I don't like it more gray. I don't like it more pink. So the reason I don't like color balance as much as the other one is because sometimes it just looks like there's a filter, like you're looking at your drawing through a filter, like a magenta filter or a blue filter. So I'm not always crazy about that. Oh, I kind of like that though.
Yeah.
The neck there's such a strength going down.
I like the.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is the opposite of the effect that you want.
Ooh,
No,
that's
Josh.
great.
This looks like what was that show we watched that we weren't the biggest fan of? The fantasy one.
Ooh.
Cursed. This to me, remember the transitions and they were like super saturated watercolor?
Oh, that's right.
That's kind of the palette that I'm trying to avoid.
I do kind of like the darker.
I like the warmer.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you
Josh.
like the warmer. I mean, I always think it kind of gives like a moonlit lagoon feel when it's like the darker blue.
Ooh, what do you think about this? This is like a more purple, and then this is ooh, like right there.
This is ooh.
Right?
Yes.
That's kind of fun.
Ooh, this is Halloween.
Oh, don't get that stuck in my head. I'll be singing that all day. Ooh, a little too contrasty. Sometimes I don't like changing the color level. Yeah, like right there.
Yeah,
so let's see before and after.
Before? Yes.
Yeah, for sure. This
oh my
is the
gosh,
direction.
yeah.
But just because we're just fun kids here, we're going to also do a gradient map on top. What else are people saying?
Nick says, I'm getting anxious trying to decide which I like most. There are so many.
Of what?
I don't know. If probably was something we were talking about that I already forgot. I feel like we both have really bad short-term memory, which can be a problem sometimes.
Ooh.
Probably the colors. Probably colors. There's so many colors to decide.
Look at, like, I know it kind of diffuses the blacks, but I can add those back. I love the mouth part. You know what I can do? So if you really like one part of a color gradient, on the gradient map, see how there's like a white box here? Grab black, and anywhere you paint in, oops, make sure you have your brush selected. Anywhere you paint in, it'll bring back the old layer. So it's kind of like an eraser on the gradient mark. Because I liked how the head looked before. But you know what? I'm going to use a circle edge brush.
Felix says that's me with the sliders. Try to come up with new color schemes, and then it all turns into orange-blue with the sliders.
Yeah, I try to avoid pure complements. It's like this minty blue I'm really feeling. Here, wait, let me move that out of your way for you. Oops. There, now I can see it.
Oh, cool.
I love what's going on here. To me, like, this is what I live for color. I would have never picked this like magenta rose going down into the purple that is surrounded by this mint blue. And then you have all this mint blue peeking through on the scales. That's what I love with color, is it's so unpredictable.
Wow.
I think I'm just in a really good mood right now. You know?
I love seeing that.
Oh, where's my brush?
Where'd you put it?
Hold on, something's wrong. No, what's going on? No! Not on a live stream.
Does it do this sometimes?
Oh wait, there we go. Sometimes. I mean, this has happened to me on every, like, if I work on a PC or a Mac, anything.
Misplaces needed erasers, misplaces pencils, misplaces digital pencils.
It's the computer's fault.
Let's take a look here.
You know what really is a bummer though? Because I probably can't even finish this until we get back from Colorado.
Can you do it on Procreate if you moved it to your iPad?
Like I said, I don't like coloring in Procreate as much as I do Photoshop.
What about the Photoshop app? Is that okay for this stuff, maybe? Have you tried it? Don't. Okay. What am I saying? What am I saying? Oh, Snagglefull says, I'd love to do that. I want to color along. Enver says, yes, please. We have Galexera saying, yes, please. Love seeing your process.
And you know what? Let's do that. I'll find a really like simple concept drawing that I've done, and we'll do like a draw
that'd be so
paint
fun.
with me.
Because yeah, this would be fun to see what how everyone else colors in something.
Right.
Everyone has their own styles.
So here's another area. You know what? I'm gonna make a new layer. I already did. So okay, so look at the mouth here. I'm gonna do my best to make it pop more, and then I'll show the layer on and off. So keep doing questions.
Oh, okay. Will you do a before and after thing?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I'm doing it.
All right. Henry says, Curse broke my little dream of a good... Oh, Tim, you might know what this is.
Nimue? I don't know what that is. Is it like something with Merlin and Arthur?
We can just...
Actually, yeah, Google that really quick.
I might have spelled it wrong.
Almost like painting and watching the other screen.
Lady of the Lake, a mythological creature. This is actually...
Oh, it's a mythological creature.
Related to Arthur, Prince of Camelot. Yeah, I have to look into that a little bit more. There's a lot of info on this. Sean says you can mess with selective color adjustment layers as well to mess with individual color parts too.
That's true. I know. I don't know why I never do that. Probably because I'm just too brass. I really should though do that more because I feel like sometimes I don't want like the mint to change, but I want like in this case I wanted the magenta to change a bit.
Oh, so you can actually change individual colors without messing with everything else. So even if it's all in the same layer?
Yeah, I mean, it'll do its best to like selectively grab it, but yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. Corey says a layer mask, essential to non-destructive editing and Photoshop best practices. Seventh Dark Force is saying hello everyone. Hello.
Hello.
Is the drawing layer in multiply mode?
Right now, yes. So I made a new layer so I can start edging some of it out. Actually, I think I went a little too heavy on here. If I ever need to like punch the darks a little darker, I'll just create a quick multiply layer and just punch them out, and then I'll go back to a normal layer.
Am I supposed to look yet or no?
This is one of the best color things I've done all year. I'm surprised that we're able to do this live right now, because I get sometimes so nervous live. I don't know why today I'm just like throwing all that nervousness out the window, and I'm like, let's just do color, something I never work in. Let's just do that live.
Can I look yet or no? Should I hold off?
Oh yeah, here, wait.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Actually, don't look.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, now look.
Okay.
You can look at that screen though. I feel like the colors are better over here. So this is before, and then after.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. Oh, you can see the mouth, like the edge is so much more clear.
So part of, like, when I look at the mouth, you know how it has sort of like a bubble, like your lips? Well, the highlight will be in the middle. So I'm not going to add the highlight. Oops. Make a new layer. I'm not going to make the highlight here where the lips are touching. Instead, you're going to put it right in the middle, in between them. But something else you might want to see is the highlight that I'm putting into the skin texture. If you look on the color map, look how it's halfway up light and dark value. So I try to stay away from pure white as my highlight And even the flame that's coming out, even that's like a 25% value. If I made this pure white, this would really stand out with the contrast. See how now it's really like emitting that light appearance? And that's because of nothing else is that light in the scene. Wow, you can really see like the gradient halo. I can't even see that at all on this screen. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
I need to get a new Cintiq. I literally cannot even see like this halo.
Well, and even the background color is almost like a dark plum color in the Cintiq, but then on the actual screen on YouTube,
right?
It definitely is not.
It's funny.
Similar.
I could almost paint it like I used to with like a tablet and look on that screen, not like where I'm actually drawing. Something I need to do though, I'm gonna make this fire actually look like fire. So Justin Gerard does an amazing job as expected with fire. I'm gonna try to bring in some of that here. So as I'm doing that, could you get more questions going? There are some.
Yes. Oh, Ella. Hello, Ella. I missed you. Ella says, I miss these streams. I love the color scheme for this baby dragon, Tim. Also had forgotten what a cute, happy vibe these streams always have. Really brightens my day. Oh,
well, thank you.
I'm very happy to hear that.
I'm kind of glad, Josh, you are back. I feel like I'm able to just focus on drawing more. And then you're able to like carry the conversation, and I like it.
Works
so
out.
Thank you.
And we get some Subway afterwards, so.
Actually, yeah, that's true. I'm going to my niece's. Actually, no, we'll have time.
Will we have time? It's
Yep.
okay if we don't this week.
Nope,
We're
do.
gonna be okay on the road anyways.
I almost need. I want to make this fully look like flame, but I feel like I'd have to work on the background, which I'm not wanting to do for the stream. I might do that when I eventually start to actually when I paint it. But I think for now we're gonna leave it like that, because I would have to like make the whole background darker and make the flame pop, blah blah. But something really quick smoke transition. You can see before and after. The smoke, all I do is I do a very lit fire, and then I make it more like a black flame smoke into like a more clear smoke. So it kind of gives the impression of, you know, when you burn incense and then it's like really highlight flame, and then it's like black, and then it's, you know, the nice stream of smoke before you blow it out. That's kind of the impression I like to give with smoke too, like that little pop of black or like that darkness.
Speaking of flames, we have a really good candle burning today.
This is the best candle. Oh, look on stream. Look at this like magenta orb. Yeah. I feel like I have an aura in my hand. I have a soul. Or this looks like one of the orbs in Inside. Is it Inside Out? The Pixar movie?
Oh yeah.
It's like one of the orbs. But it's strawberry pound cake from Bath and Body Works, and I kid you not, it is the best smell.
It's so good. Enix says your brush movement and digital are really similar to the traditional ones.
Yeah, I would say it carries over. I would say I treat things very similarly. Digital. No, I take that back. I'm definitely way more bold and bastic when I'm working with paint and digital, because you have the undo ability. Where with pencils, I'm always just a little more tentative with my movements. And honestly, I think that's why I get frustrated, or that's why I've been getting frustrated lately. So I need to get away from that.
Oh, Henny says, by here it is 22:30, and I'm awake from 6 a.m. So shower and bed call. Excited to see the finished product. Yes, you need to get to bed. You're gonna be up very early. Bed. Yeah, but thank you for stopping. I think once you're done with this, you're gonna probably put it on Instagram, Tim.
Oh yeah, like I said, it probably won't be till we get back from Colorado though.
So that's probably gonna be like a week and a half still till it's
at least
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felix says I'm trying to color the Dirt Kid, but I feel like the lower part works best as a black to white gradient. Are they supposed to be brown?
You know, I was gonna do a Dirt Kid on the stream today, and I was like, you know, I don't even know what color I want the Dirt Kids to be. So I don't have a good answer for that right now.
I mean, there are some people that have done some cool colored ones on Instagram. And they kind of interpret it their own way too.
So Josh, really quick. So this is called an overlay layer. Overlay basically makes colors more vibrant if you use it right. So this is before and after. So like before, after.
Ooh.
See how the fire looks more like it's emitting light? So if I did it like really big, see how it like is a glow?
Yeah.
So if you use it really sparingly, it just creates this like powerful light effect. And something really cool then is if you could put like a few dots around it. Here, wait. It almost looks like there's, maybe I'll zoom in. Some like sparks coming out too. And even like over here. And then when you zoom out, it just looks like that natural spray that can sometimes happen.
Oh yeah.
Isn't digital painting wild?
It's so weird. The colors, well, I think you talked about in your tutorial too, because I watched all those, but it's cool to me how colors to certain ones can give almost a glow. It's not like they're actually glowing, but just because they're so, the tone, I don't know what you call that. Like that, yeah, that glows.
It's a lot of the contrast. So if we look at, so see how the saturation, watch, when I put it like near the fire, see how it's very vivid? Well, if I look at the background, see how it's more dull? So whenever there's more like vivid colors against more dull colors, it just creates the illusion of like light. And then if you have whites against like saturation, then it's like, it really looks like pure light emitting, which is kind of crazy.
Sagolfo says, I've got to head off. I'm about to run a new D&D campaign. Hope you guys have a great night, and I look forward to seeing how this turns out.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you so much, you too. Good luck on the campaign.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, slay some good dragons.
Some baby dragons.
No, don't kill the baby dragons. They haven't earned the right to battle yet. Oh, I'm still on overlay. I was like, why is this color so saturated? You know what? Maybe I'll play with this for a second.
And Andrea says, you are an amazing artist and also a big inspiration.
Well, thank you. Honestly, I'm just excited to actually my word though that I need to kill again. I'm just excited to be streaming and enjoying what I'm working on again. I feel like I went through a slump of just being like, I am just not doing great on streams.
Oh, Ella says, I really wanted to make a Dirt Kid, but I won't be able to make it in time.
I mean, thankfully, I decided I might continue it through August because there's so many submissions. I feel bad that I've only shared like 36 of them so far. So I'll probably just, I mean, don't tell anyone, but I'll probably just keep sharing them even throughout August.
There's so many good ones.
There's so many good ones.
Ella, I love how much Josh learns from every stream. I love to see some streams where Josh demonstrates the things he's learned from Tim. Oh gosh.
I love that.
Oh gosh. Maybe I could discuss them, but executing them, probably not. I still even Photoshop. I want Tim to kind of teach me some Photoshop stuff, but it just seems really intimidating, honestly.
It's like you take it one thing at a time. I think it would be silly for me to just throw Photoshop at you and be like, okay, go for it.
I've watched you use it a lot, so I feel like I'm starting to kind of pick up on things here and there, but it's still a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah, honestly, it's just one of those things that you have to use. Because I agree with you. I don't think there's like a shortcut to learning Photoshop.
Yeah, it's a little rough. We could do like a piano stream or something sometime, maybe.
Oh yeah, that we could do.
Nicola says, on what format of canvas are you working on? Every time I zoom in so much everything gets blurry.
What was the
on what format of canvas are you working on?
So I'm working at a 300 DPI and it's 12 by 19, but it's a CMYK. I hope this helps. I'm not exactly sure. I know
it could be, yeah, because a lot of that's the scan too. Maybe if it could come down to how well the scan is, perhaps, maybe.
Oh yeah, actually the scan, I mean, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I have a really good scanner, so I attribute a lot of being able to even do this to the fact that my scanner does a good job at picking things up. Alright, something I just did, I'm gonna erase that though, is I made the background slightly darker around the neck so that it pops more. I don't know if I like it or not. I might come back to that.
Actually, I like it from far away.
Right? The thing I do need to carry though is I need to carry the mint back into it because the local color of the dragon is getting a little lost.
Hayden says, what is the balance of keeping the pencil lines visible and going over them in pure color rendering?
This is personal judgment. I try to not color too much over the pencil because then I think it loses a lot of what I had to begin with. And I want to keep as much of that alive in the drawing as possible. So the more that I do this where I'm painting over it, the more I'm cautious about how heavy-handed I'm pushing into the drawing. But yeah, I think it just comes down to what you like personally. If you don't want any of the pencil showing, obviously just color right over it. But since I want some of that shown, I have to do like a mix of both. Oh, I do not like that though.
Alexander says, hey, you two, I was wondering how large was the original drawing and what kind of paper do you draw on?
It was really small. I want to say this is like 6 inches tall. What paper do I draw on? It's a mixed media Strathmore paper.
I'm trying to see if you had a sketchbook laying around with the
Probably
color.
over here. Yes.
Strathmore.
Ta-da! Mixed media.
Strathmore mixed media.
And it's a 9x12. I gotta remind myself for a second there.
How large was the original? Do you remember?
I honestly think it was like 6 inches.
Okay.
It's very small. It was like I drew. Remember the dragon that I drew? It was very small.
Oh, that's right.
We sold this at Dragon Con last year. This is when little hatchling arrived onto the scene.
Because you had the two dragons.
2.
Yeah, you had the other.
Oh, I
dragon
drew
then.
2 dragons. Yes.
Yeah,
But I think we only printed 1.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we were trying to decide which one we liked better. And then this one won. Sorry, other dragon. See how I'm adding like the hint of scales here? All right, let me do before.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny about how little you have to do to create the illusion of scales. But what's funny is with a pencil though, you do kind of have to edge it out a bit more. But with colors, you can kind of get away with some things.
Wait, I'm seeing now why you said don't just do one color wrong at all. Like you want to...
Well, that's how I like to do it personally.
Yeah.
I hate being so methodical with color because I think a lot of it is just trusting intuition. And the more that I second guess it, the worse my drawing becomes, I think. I'm going to carry some of these colors though into here. So this would be called rim lighting. So I'm carrying those yellows from the egg and now I'm gonna kind of have them reflected on the underside. This can get really sloppy though, so I'm gonna be very careful with how I do this.
Unique says, a friend of mine recently got herself a tablet and wanted to start learning digital art. I completely forgot how much knowledge I actually have that a beginner like her doesn't have.
Yeah.
There's so much.
Don't sell yourself short. I mean, if you've been working in Photoshop, you probably know a lot more than you give yourself credit for. I mean, Photoshop's a beast of a software. I don't even know half of everything that it has to offer. But then you learn stuff in like actions for me was a big thing, especially when I'm saving out files for my book or for my card deck. Having the actions tab open, I could just run it so that it saves things out automatically was a lifesaver for me for time.
Fem says, my dirt kit isn't finished at all how I wanted it to be at this point in time. Well, since you have this little secret that it
The window.
is extended,
Yeah,
no
right.
worries then. Plenty of time. Anna says, would you do a soft texture tutorial sometime for fur and other light diffusing surfaces? Junkbox extra. Thank you so much for subscribing. We'll just get a little. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. I had this thought the other day where I'm slowly getting the itch to do a tutorial. I don't want to do a lot right away, but maybe just one. But I'm going to wait till this winter when I'm kind of cooped up in the house anyways. And then maybe I'll just do a couple tutorials on the DL. And that could be one of them. I'm going to try creating a lighter background and see what that effect gives. Oh, and also I love working with neutral gray. I have a whole tutorial on this on my YouTube about how neutral gray can make other colors look so much more vibrant. And it's one of the most underplayed, underused color. You know what though? It's so similar to that mint green.
Yeah.
I gotta be careful placing it right up against it. I could probably do it more on the outside. Yeah.
Enix says, have you always liked rendering, or was there ever a time where you didn't enjoy it?
If there was, I couldn't tell you when that was. I've always loved rendering. It's my favorite part of the process. One with digital, weirdly, coloring is my favorite part, and doing like the slider bars and like seeing, oh, does that work well? And oh, I like this color harmony that we've got created here. So, I mean, yeah, but I guess that's still part of the rendering stage.
Because, yeah, I'm trying to think the last time when you were working on your swordplay, was it, which character? I forgot the latest one you did when you were doing the cityscape.
Oh, Nate.
Was it Nate's or,
oh, Christina's the bottom?
Miko.
Oh, yeah, Miko.
Yeah, it was Miko's.
Oh God,
yeah, you were having so much fun with that one with the colors, too.
You know what? You're right. There were some parts of working on that cityscape I really enjoyed. I mean, It took me a long time because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And honestly, I'd probably watch a tutorial before trying to tackle something like that again. I think I just have to admit that there's some things I don't know the most efficient way on how to do it or paint it or draw it. And I should always keep that forever a student mentality going. Because I think I've lost that a little bit, and I want to pick that back up again.
Felix says I sort of operate in the mindset that every artist knows Photoshop, but then again, artists who solely work traditional have a skill set that a lot of digital artists don't have.
Yep. Yeah, it's very true. Every medium, every software has different pros and cons.
I feel like, yeah, you still have to troubleshoot traditional art even too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have one of those opinions where you're not supposed to say it out loud, but I definitely would say I think traditional is more difficult on certain levels for sure. And I think because there is no control or control Z or command Z, whatever it is, I do think there's a lot more pressure that goes into making traditional work. Or digital, you can just command Z, or if the proportions are a bit off, you just liquefy it. I think there's a lot more shortcuts working digitally than there are traditionally. And that's okay. It doesn't mean like one's better than the other in terms of the end results, but I do think we need to recognize the learning curve over one over the other.
Oh, Galaxera says, thank you so much. I'm actually doing a D&D project where I want to use my pencil sketches and play with them digitally. So this is very helpful.
Hey. Yeah, it was probably right down your alley then. Baby Dragon Hatchling.
Baby Dragon.
Baby Dragon Island.
Baby Dragon Island.
Do some spots going down the wing. The wing's looking too green. I gotta bring back that tealy color. I don't like that.
Sean says, when it comes to creating lighting color, are you thinking of formal lighting rules or just going more by what looks good?
You know, weirdly, I would say this is kind of a mix. Where like I'm definitely looking at like I'm imagining the light source obviously being emitted from inside the egg for whatever reason. And even though that's kind of like unrealistic and unnatural, I'm pulling then a lot of the way I'm shading things based on that lighting information. But then I have another light source coming from overhead and to the side, and that's where like the highlight on the eye, the highlight on the nails, the highlight on the gum in the mouth area, and that I'm also taking into effect. So a lot of the shadows then, like I'll probably have a cast shadow on the head on the horns over here, and what becomes more fantastical, and you see this a lot with Justin Gerard's stuff too, is a lot of like this mouth where it kind of transition has like the softer glow to it. That is more fantastical. But then obviously the light emitting from the egg and the way that it's bouncing off the entire body, like that's more of a realistic way that light would move and travel. So I would say it's a mixture of both, and then just playing up one not so much over the other, like try to balance them.
It's like just really fun to watch.
This has been so much fun to paint, honestly.
This came together so well. Felix says I used to be digital only and it made me really lazy. Now that I do some stuff in pencil and oils, I plan ahead a lot more and have more patience to render and have to stick to my color choices.
Yeah. I think maybe that's why I'm having so much fun with color, because I can just explode on speed, which I normally never do because I'm so slow as a pencil artist. Because, I mean, the medium doesn't allow usually for like really quick rendering. You have to work almost at like a slow printer pace. So yeah, I do think working with both side by side is the best way to do it, because I think digital helps make you faster, and I think pencil helps you more technically. Or at least in my case, that's what it's done. I can't say that's true for everyone.
Celine says, I've been up since 5 a.m. It's time for me to go to bed. It was super fun to see your color build up. I should try to do this with my own pencil drawings too.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for stopping. Enjoy your sleep.
Sometimes if I render an area and then I'll do like the on and off, I can kind of see like areas I don't like, and I'll just use my eraser tool and get rid of it. I kind of like that blush of pink right there.
Oh, yeah, actually it works because you have a little bit by the mouth then too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely losing the local color on it. Like that's something I'm gonna have to, you know what, I'm gonna do so I can kind of tell, like you can't tell what color the dragon is right now. Sometimes I don't think it's the biggest problem, but sometimes I'm like, I want it to read though. So I'll just make a color layer, and then I'll use my eraser tool and then erase what I think was a little too much. So I'll kind of cover everything.
Unix says traditional scares me, not only because it's so unsafe with the lack of Control-Z, but also because there's so many and so expensive supplies one has to go through.
Very true.
Yeah, that's definitely, especially depending on the medium you have. I feel like that adds up. Well, especially you're doing the watercolor the other day for one of your uncles, or
oh yeah, my cousin.
Yeah, your cousin.
Yeah, watercolor is expensive.
Watercolor is expensive even, yeah. Aziel says, I watched this stream on and off, and I must say I enjoyed what I picked up. Thank you. Oh.
Well, thanks for coming and stopping by for a little bit.
Yeah, this has definitely been a unique stream for Tim, but it's definitely really fun. Galaxera says, by the way, do you have a P.O. box if one wants to send fan mail and like?
Ah, yeah, that'd be great. We do have a P.O. box.
Do you have that on you or no? In your head?
Ooh.
Otherwise,
I might have to find. Yeah.
I can grab it. I think I might actually.
Because we changed it last year, so I remember the old one, but I don't know if I remember the new one offhand. But yeah, I have a bag that I keep all the fan mail in, so I never throw it away.
trying to find, because I know I paid it recently, but I think it was way earlier in the year. Yeah, it's not going to show up. You know what? It's on those boxes. I'll be right back.
Dealio. Alright, I'm going to do another color shifting because I want to see what else we can create here. Oh geez, it's almost 4 already? My door has a hard time closing. See, and sometimes I'll get to this point where I just need to kind of find one aspect of it that's bothering me and then adjust that. Too blue. So I hope this, helped you guys with like seeing how to just have confidence with color. And a lot of it's just trust your gut. I know it sounds very simple, but it really has spoken very true for me over the years. Ooh, that's kind of fun actually. I know it's like way too spiked with color, but I can definitely tone that down. Possibly. I'm not hating this fully yet. We'll see. God, that's like so saturated, but I know I could work with it. I just got to tone it down quite a bit. Like I said, this is where color becomes kind of fun for me because I'm like, how can I adjust? There's things I like about it, but it's very intense right now. I might turn the opacity of the layer down just a smidge. But then that egg pattern, welcome back.
This door is so sticky.
Yeah, you gotta like push it left when you close it.
Oh.
That's what I've kind of learned.
All right, I will type the PO box out.
Also, I'm gonna change. I haven't changed brushes this whole time. I made this chalk brush that I normally use for everything. But sometimes I have this texture brush under metal. This one. I like to throw this in.
Oops, I don't know. Okay, I'll just do that. I'm trying to do the space on there, but it won't let me.
Cool, I was like, why is my phone freaking out? Of course, mom's calling during the stream. She wouldn't be a mom if she didn't call during the most inconvenient of times.
She's so cute. Eunuch and Ella at the same time said they love high saturation. That was funny. You guys are vibing.
I mean, I think there's a place for it for sure. And like the balance here isn't horrible, but I do think I have to bring it in, reel it just a little bit, because it reads as a little bit of rainbow vomit.
Em says, I remember seeing lots of dragon statues that would hold lamps when I was a kid. And this would be such a cool one with a light and the egg underneath.
Oh.
The eye and a little fire on his face.
Yeah, that'd be cute.
Actually, this would be a really cute lamp. Can do some sculpting, Tim. We can have cool sculptures in the backyard.
I mean, weirdly, this one wouldn't be the worst one to sculpt.
Oh, really?
Because the base of it's just this egg. Then you just have to like work it in.
That would be pretty cool.
You're not the worst idea, honestly. I got to pull some neutrals back into this though. There's so much color happening. It's funny how this gray almost now starts to look green. This is like pure neutral gray around the edge of the egg.
Does it look green just because the eye sees other greens?
It's a trick.
Kind of, oh, that's weird.
Right. Actually, I'm not even sure if I'm crazy about that. Well, I know we're running out of time here, so maybe I'll do like one more gradient map and just a little more editing, and then.
If you have any last minute questions, make sure to get them in. Where Nika says, I feel very uncomfortable with digital painting. It feels so different. I just started learning it. I'm not sure if I should buy Photoshop or keep using Krita if I want to keep learning digital.
I mean, no software is like the best software. I think there's like a industry standard, and I would say that is Photoshop, but that doesn't mean you can't create gorgeous things in other software or not get hired just because you're working with a different software. I think as long as you're proficient in whatever software you choose, that's what really matters. So if you want Krita to be the one that you work with, then get really good with that one. And like, just know that every software will offer something that another software might not be able to do or recreate. So I think there's a lot of things in Photoshop that I personally really like. And I wanted to get really good with Corel Painter because that's probably the most close to like traditional painting mimicry that you can get, but I did not like working with it. And I think, you know, you could learn a lot about yourself and what software works best for you depending on trying them out. And I think you just got to allow yourself to try them out, if that makes sense.
Well, especially too, still trying to figure out if you even like digital painting. Probably it's just not worth.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Unix says, I think Photoshop has a trial month or something.
Well, that's
always
right,
an
they
option
do.
too. Yeah. Just always make sure you cancel it if you don't want to keep it. I always do them trials, and then it's like, your bank account was charged $40.
Yep.
Yeah.
Photoshop's not cheap, admittedly.
Felix says, by the way, you can tone it down by copy and pasting the merged version of the values into a layer mask of an adjustment layer. Invert it to down the saturation of the darks only, for example.
Dang. Yeah, I've never tried that before. But you know what?
This understood maybe like 2 of those things, but I'm happy you got the message. Ella's adding to it. Or go to levels and increase the output levels to only affect the dark parts of the painting values.
Oh yeah, that I do a lot. Oh god, this is a little rainbow vomity. Hold on, I gotta...
What?
I'm just gonna change just a few things.
Oh, you think it's rainbow vomity?
The egg is just, like, I like that it's kind of emitting some of this, like, light, but I feel like it's taking away from the dragon. Where? Ooh, see, now I'm like in this uncharted territory where like it looks better on my Cintiq, so I almost have to like edit it on here, which is weird.
Oh, that's weird, yeah.
I have to play around with this a little bit. So I'm using a saturation layer, and since I'm working with pure gray, it basically will desaturate anywhere that I paint. Like I said before, neutral gray is one of my best friends. So I like to pull that in. Oh, you know what? Something I should have done really quick. This will be the last thing I do then. We know we're already out of time. So the horns are like the easiest place to add highlights to. Let me show you. So following the pencil direction that I already laid in here, I'm just going to kind of follow the creases and then edge out a lot of what you're seeing. And that creates the illusion of form. So if I zoom out, see how the horns are starting to get some texture to it. And I think a lot of this just comes down to the fact that I've drawn horns so many times. Like I kind of know where to edge things out to make certain areas of it pop. But a lot of it is just kind of creating, oops, I can't even see what I'm doing. Kind of creating these irregular lines back and forth all the way up. And, you know, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to make the spike of the horn lighter value. So that starts to look there.
Ooh.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, that's so cool.
Do it on this side too. And then to really add something fun, I'm gonna grab, actually I'll grab this kind of yellowy. Do one more pass on it and I'll show you what that looks like. And then we'll cut the stream off. So literally, last second questions, I would ask them now if you have any. And we're gonna go ahead and cut the stream off.
Oh, Fem says, last minute, not really a question. I'm very happy that the streams are back and Josh is co-hosting because I really love this relaxing but informative 2 hours of fun. Oh, Fem. Well, it's so great having everyone here too. I love all our regulars.
Yeah, for real though.
Yeah, you guys are the ones that make it so fun too. Alice says, asked him to demonstrate how to use levels. It's my go-to adjustment thingy except for color balance.
Oh yeah.
Let me just a little
All right, that will be the last
minute demonstration.
So I'll probably clean up some of the highlights, but see how the highlights add even more of the... So I'll show you before and after. So this was...
Just adds so much to those horns. Oh my god, yeah.
Right, so then this is with the first pass, and then this is with more of a highlight pass.
Yeah, that's so cool that you can just do that. Well, it just adds something to the horns then, too.
Like I'm a little upset at myself for it's looking a little color vomity.
How so? Is it?
I think it's just I gotta change some things about it. Oh, and you know what? Really easy way to give some good life to your scene is if you have something like an eggshell where you can easily show like the sky value or the area around it, I guess I should say. Edging it out with a lighter color can really make that pop. And then grab like your light. See how that adds just a lot more dimension to the eggshell then? So this is before and after.
Oh yeah. Because you can like, it looks cracked then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm gonna go through once I get back from Colorado. It's either the egg. There's something a little too magenta overtone that I probably need to adjust. But I actually like how this one turned out. And I guess the last thing with the levels that you were talking about. Oh, did I? Oh my gosh.
Was that your phone?
Oh, it's my mom again.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mom. She knows I stream at this time. Okay, so I'll show you levels really quick, as promised. So, levels is something I do pretty much for any of my pencil drawings when I first bring them into Photoshop. And what I'll normally do is I'll make it a little brighter, like that, and then you can change how much midtones, if you want it to be less or more. This one I'll usually push a little darker, but actually I kind of like it a little brighter, honestly. Digital is a little different than how I treat my pencil levels. And then this I usually push in just a touch. See how if you do it too much, it'll like really darken up your image. So you don't want to do that, but just a little touch. And then if you're printing something, the output levels, I'll change this so it's not as dark, because printing always prints darker because you're working with ink, not light. And that's level. So then this is what it looks like before and after. Before, oops, after. So it's a small change. Some people do more drastic changes with it. I try not to do something anything like crazy. But yeah, that is my little demo today on how to digitally paint one of your pencil drawings. I think we are going to do the stream suggestion of like me giving you something to work on alongside me for not next week, but in 2 weeks. And then, yeah, we'll do, I don't know, we'll keep the digital train going a little bit since we've been strictly pencil for so long. And then we'll go from there. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming to this live stream today. Like I said, we do these every Wednesday except for next week because we're in Colorado, but you can watch all the ones that we've done before on the YouTube channel, and I hope that this was helpful and informative in some way, and I hope you were able to pick up some coloring tips. I
had fun. This was fun.
I think if we go, I think we can show what it looked like from the very beginning. So this is when it looked like this. Remember that? Then there. Ooh. Isn't that weird?
Ooh. It'll be fun to do when you're finished, just to show the original pencil drawing and then showing it with the color too.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I think as much as I like the mint on the egg, I think that's what's bothering me. Like, I don't hate it here.
It almost maybe takes away from looking at the dragon, though. I see what you mean by that.
I'll do that when we come back from Colorado. Okay. Well, like I said, thank you guys so much for coming to this live stream, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Josh, any last words?
Everyone is amazing. Have a wonderful weekend.
Everyone is amazing. Have a great weekend, everyone, and until next time, take care. All right. Bye.